Hey guys, this is an amazing video that I'm so excited to bring to y'all. And it's a personal project of mine that I've been working on for a while that I think will be extremely valuable compared to anything else you're going to find in the market today. And personally, this is something I wish I had when I purchased properties. I've now bought properties across multiple provinces, different property types with different agents, different types of experiences. And one of the reasons I became an agent is because I saw so many gaps in what was in the market, and I felt I wanted to deliver and cover those gaps and provide a better experience for my clients. And so this is one of those projects that I think is going to be extremely valuable. And of course, now you know I personally love real estate so much. I love to talk about real estate. Anyone who knows me knows it's hard to get me to shut up when I talk about real estate. So what we are going to do is we're going to try and go through these slides as quickly as possible. I'm going to try and keep it under 30 minutes, but I promise you this is going to be the best 30 minutes you're going to spend in your search for a property in Calgary. The amount of information that I'm going to try and deliver and value I'm going to try and give you guys, it's unparalleled, and I've not seen it anywhere else, even on YouTube. And I'm also going to make this guide available in the description below so you can download, go through it step by step, see all the details that I even cannot cover in this video. And guess what? It's also a dynamic document. So as time goes by, as I find more information, as people reach out and give me feedback for what we can do to improve this document for it to be more valuable, I'm going to change that. And with the link that you already will get from the description, that will automatically update and you will get all the information in the future. So it's a one link and you're going to get all of this. And I hope you will find it as exciting as I do. Otherwise, I think I'm crazy. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So right at the bat, documents about where should you live in Calgary. And this is such an important question to so many people to try and understand what Calgary is all about. And the reason why this is so important is because even when I was moving to Calgary, what I didn't understand is how diverse Calgary is. The part of Calgary that you decide to pick can be so different in lifestyle, what it has to offer depending on what stage of life you're in. And most cities generally have a level of diversity. But trust me when I say Calgary is very, very different. More than one city as a whole, it's really multiple micro cities all within the same area. So this guide aims to explore Calgary's 8 regions, find you the ideal lifestyle fit, and for personal guidance, of course, reach out. There's a relocation strategy session that I have. For my buyers, it's absolutely no obligation, but I take time to understand your short term, mid term, and long term goals. The booking link is in the description, but you'll also find the booking link right here in this document, making it super easy to do that. And you got all my contact details here, and I love to have those conversations with you and help you in this journey because I know how difficult it can be. All right, to kick it off, we're going to first look at the different regions that we're going to cover, and this is as per the Calgary Real Estate Board. This is how they break up Calgary, and it's a better way to understand what Calgary is about. So right off the bat, you have city center, then we're going to look at North Calgary, then we're going to look at Northwest, West, South Calgary, Southeast, East, and Northeast. And now, of course, I'm also going to put markers on this video so you can also jump to the community that you're already more curious about. But I highly encourage you to at some point go through all of this, especially if you're just starting out your journey, because there is a lot of information that is just overlooked a lot of the times, and I've taken a very different approach than just your standard demographics and stats, and you will see what I'm talking about. So now let's jump right into city center. And so this is an order of popularity where people generally love to move to and are looking for homes in. So hopefully more value will be delivered up front, and then the lesser desired communities are more towards the end. Now, city center Calgary, of course, it's no secret the value really for city center is walkability, culture, and it's Calgary's urban pulse. Who thrives in downtown Calgary? Young professionals, couples, and creatives who want convenience, culture, and connection. Downsizers leaving the suburbs and who want now a low maintenance, high access living. People who live a lifestyle first mindset, and buyers who are okay with trading yard space for city access. What's the energy? What's the feel in downtown Calgary? If your life revolves around community events, small businesses, walking distance, perks, and vibrant diversity, then the core offers a completely different way to experience Calgary. As far as the city feel goes, what it feels like, the city center is active, walkable, and alive. You've got patios buzzing, scooters flying by, food trucks, lunch breaks, a lot of this. It's the only part of Calgary where you can live car free, where every block has something to explore. It also feels layered. Every neighborhood essentially has its own vibe. What do locals say? And this is something I researched, I found from all over the place, depending on Facebook posts or Reddit and everything, because I know how important it is to understand the ground reality and the experience of people actually living in these places. So this is something that actual people said there is we walk or bike more than we drive. Everything is right here. I sold my detached home in the suburbs and I've never looked back. Yeah, it is louder, but it's also livelier and I feel like I live in the heart of it all. If that sounds like you, then downtown might be for you. What are the key communities you want to look at when you're looking at city center? Beltline and Mission, Kensington and Sunnyside, Bridgeland and Inglewood, Altadore, Bankview and Killarney, and then finally Mount Royal and Scarborough. Now, of course, all of these come with their own benefits, and I've taken the time to highlight all of that here, and that's why you'd want to download this document, because I can't go through all of it within this video, but each of it offers whether prestige, artsy, depending local boutiques, C-train access, depending on what you want. Each place has its own thing, and even when you reach out to me for your session, we're going to look into this and we're going to find you something that's a good lifestyle fit for you. Now getting into what the home prices and the time cost. So again, a lot of videos only go into the home prices and the affordability, but what about the time cost? What are you giving up in terms of convenience and access from different parts? So first, going into home prices, a detached home benchmark price for now sits at $980,000. Duplex is at $948. Townhomes are at $610. Apartments at $348. As far as errands time cost, it's minimal. Groceries, transit, cafes, work, parks, all within walking, biking distance. Commute, most residents in fact don't commute at all. They just walk or bike to work. Red and blue C trains both run through the downtown core, and guess what? Using C train within the downtown core itself is free. Parking can be limited. Many condos come with underground spots and street permit access. If you are someone that values time over space, inner city gives back to you. So right here, microclimate and natural feel in the city center. Now this is something extremely important. Again, information I couldn't find when I was looking for a home, and I wish someone told me, because I'll tell you something. You cannot just blindly say Calgary has one weather system. Every single part of the city experiences a very dramatic, different type of weather system, and depending on your lifestyle, you might actually prefer one over the other. I know I do. Elevation. Being lower in elevation, the city center experiences lesser snow. As far as wind protection goes, there's lesser wind exposure, more protection from surrounding development, and a good year-round sun access. Green space, proximity to Prince Island Park, Bow River Pathway, downtown green zones, makes up for the lack of private yards. So you have a lot of green space, open space to really enjoy that good weather. As far as hail risk goes, it's lower than Northeast or East Calgary, and many condos actually come with underground parking and newer construction materials that helps you against those weather. So weather impacts everything, and in the core, your snow melts fast, yet the city's best biking paths early in spring, your car is often parked underground when the hail hits. And Calgary city downtown also has indoor pathways that connect across multiple buildings, so you don't even have to exit out while getting across downtown core. Now, the next thing is future development in city center Calgary. And this is going to affect how your life is going to evolve over the next 5 years after you move into this part. So infill development. The city center has long been the epicenter of infill development, and that's now been supercharged by the blanket zoning of RCG in 2024. Density has been constantly increasing, mixed use growth, and transit-oriented development. So transit-oriented development around these neighborhoods specifically is a hot investment zone right now. This is where the future is being built, and it's already happening block by block. What about the city center Calgary? Is it right for you? Is that where you should be looking? If you want to live car-free or walkable, if you are okay with less private space in exchange for more public energy, if you value restaurants, gyms, and work within blocks, or you want your home to be a launch pad and not just a resting place, then this might be just for you. Calgary city center isn't just a place to live, it's a lifestyle. Now that we've finished downtown, let's start taking a look at the different suburbs based on their popularity. So first we're going to look at North Calgary. So North Calgary. North Calgary is basically a balanced suburb with a big picture potential. Who thrives in North Calgary? Pragmatic planners who want long-term growth without overpaying, families who are upgrading, professionals who are working in the not industrial zones, so essentially the Cross Island Corridor, the industrial area around it, a lot of people living in Edry also working there and moving down, and buyers who want newer homes but still value peace and quiet. What is the energy? What does it feel like living in the north? If you're not trying to be flashy, if you just want a good home, a good area where things are moving in the right direction, North Calgary might be what you're looking for. The feel of North Calgary. What does it feel like? North Calgary is clean, orderly, family driven. You will see detached homes with double garages, wide streets, new schools. It's a quiet achiever, not overhyped on social media, but it delivers what many families want: calm, space, convenience. And think Costco runs, sports practices, backyard barbecue. Life here is scheduled, suburban, and stress free for many families. What do locals say? People who actually live there. It's safe, it's clean, and it's everything I need is close. We moved here for the schools and actually ended up loving the community feel. We don't have fancy cafes like the inner city, but we've got everything else we need. So, what are the key communities to look at when you're looking at North Calgary? Evanston, Carrington, Panorama Hills, Sage, Knoll Hill, and Livingston, and then finally Country Hills and Coventry Hills. Now, again, each of these, depending on how old they are, what they have to offer, I've highlighted all of it here. So, once you download the presentation, you'll know which community you want to look at, especially when you're looking at North Calgary. As far as home prices go and time cost, 694,000 is what you're looking at as a benchmark price for detached, 533,000 for duplex, 424,000 for townhomes, 328,000 for your apartments. So home prices here are actually very competitive compared to west or south for the lifestyle they offer and the amount of square footage you're getting. Errands time cost, high convenience because you have access to Beacon Hills, Sage Hill Crossing, and Cross Island Mills, and even the Costco up there. Commute, downtown 25 to 40 minutes depending on community, and there's no direct C-train access. That's the one downside, but you have BRT and express buses that fill the gap. Airport access 15 to 20 minutes by Stoney and Deerfoot. North Calgary isn't the flashiest, but it has one of the most efficient places to live. As far as microclimate goes and how does it actually feel living there for the weather systems, wind patterns, so North Calgary actually sits in a transitional zone, so less wind than Northeast, but not as much, it's not as elevated as Northwest. Sun exposure, snowfall is moderate and melts faster than Northwest thanks to good sun. North Calgary actually sees frequent hail activity, especially in newer communities. Landscaping is still maturing in newer developments. Many areas are wide and open with minimal tree coverage. So that does affect the feel of living in North Calgary for sure. Future development, things you need to be aware of after you move and how things are going to change. Livingston and Carrington development, part of the city's north expansion, future commercial schools transitions are going to be added. Increased density zoning, so expect increased density zoning in new areas, especially around the future BRT stops. Commercial growth, some commercial nodes are still developing. Buyers should check site plans and retail residential builds nearby. And of course, I have a development map all linked in this presentation, so when you download it, you're going to have access to all of that. Community evolution. North Calgary has transformed dramatically since 2010. Many neighborhoods here were bare prairies, but now they're 10 or 15 years ago, but now they're full-fledged suburbs. School, parks, clinics, all are catching up fast. So the more new communities come up, the more amenities you feel actually entering those. You see a lot of franchises, open shops down there. Is North Calgary right fit for you? If you want newer homes with space, but can't justify the pricing for Southwest or South, then that might be for you. If you value school proximity, shopping access, low crime streets, if you are okay with driving or express bus commuting, and you want a community that's quiet now but still developing, and finally, if you're like me and you love the Aurora and you want to spot the Aurora right from your backyard, North is where it's at. I live all the way down in South, but I drive up to North to just see the Aurora when we get the alerts in the Facebook communities. So if you would love to see the beautiful Aurora dancing in your own backyard, you might love the North. Now, getting into the next community just adjacent to North is Northwest. So, Northwest is actually even more desirable by North, but it is more expensive, as we will see. So, Northwest, scenic suburbs with school, power, and mountain proximity. Those are the two key factors that drive people into Northwest. Planners, so who thrives here? Planners and stability seekers, professionals working at University of Calgary, which is in Northwest. You have the Foothills Medical Center, and you have tech and innovation hubs in the Northwest. Nature first families, people who just want to escape out to the mountains on every weekend, that's for you. People who want community without the chaos, structured, calm, and dependable, Northwest might be for you. What's the energy? If you want to feel settled, rooted, and connected without giving up quick access to nature or downtown, this place definitely delivers. It is a classic Calgary lifestyle area. The feel of Northwest Calgary. So, what does Northwest Calgary actually feel like? Northwest Calgary is safe, established, elevated, literally and figuratively. There's a calm suburban rhythm here. Kids biking to schools, groceries nearby, scenic sunsets out west over the mountains. It's not flashy, trend chasing. This is Calgary at its dependable, family first best. You can feel the difference here. Wide roads, tidy yards, and a sense that people take pride in their neighborhoods. What do locals say? Our kids walk to school. We have the mountains 30 minutes away. It's everything we hoped Calgary would be. Property taxes are higher, so now, again, something you need to be aware of. But it's worth it for the safety, the schools, and the quiet. Traffic can be annoying on Crowchild, but I'd never leave the Northwest. So, very interesting perspectives. Now, key communities in the Northwest that you do want to consider: Tuscany, Brentwood, and Varsity. That's the university area. Tuscany is the more extreme left, extremely walkable. I love the design of Tuscany neighborhood. Scenic Acres and Arbor Lake. So Arbor Lake is a beautiful lake community out in Northwest. And if you want a lake community, you want Northwest, Arbor Lake might be where it's at. How about home prices and time cost of living in Northwest? So a detached home benchmark price right now sits at $809,000. Duplex is at $664,000. Townhomes at $459,000, and apartments are at $316,000. As far as running errands, moderate. Major plazas like Market Mall, you have Crowfoot Crossing, Beacon Hill are well distributed, but it's not as great as North. As far as the commute goes, you have C-Train Red Line that runs from Tuscany all the way down to downtown. So that takes about 30 to 35 minutes. Driving can be slower in rush hour, and your day-to-day life very manageable, especially if you live near the LRT stations. Very strategic planning when you're looking for property, if that matters to you. As far as microclimate goes, the elevation. So Northwest Calgary now sits higher elevation, meaning it has colder temperatures and more frequent snow compared to, for example, Southeast or East Calgary. And this is not something you should take lightly, but because trust me, it is really different. So oftentimes when I see the weather forecast and it's supposed to be snowing in Calgary, it's actually raining in Southeast. But as I drive up Stony Trail to see a property or for a showing, and I'm driving towards Northwest, there's suddenly more storm clouds and there's like heavier snow and all of a sudden no visibility. So it is dramatically different as you go from one end of the city to the other. Wind exposure. The open terrain and hilltop exposure means noticeable wind chill, snowdrift risk in neighborhoods like Tuscany and Rocky Ridge. Natural integration. This region is one of Calgary's most integrated with nature, boasting Nose Hill Park. You will absolutely love Nose Hill Park, one of the largest in North America. Ravines and riverside trails. Hail risk. Big factor, especially when those insurance costs start going up. Damage to your homes, damage to your personal property. I've seen so much happen, especially to cars recently over the last 1 year. Many of my clients had to completely write off their cars and get new cars. So while Northwest sees relatively lesser hail than Northeast and North, it's still part of the general hail corridor. So again, something you need to be aware of. Now, future development in Northwest, built out communities. Most of Northwest fully built out. Infill development, some infill development is still happening, especially around the downtown, I would say, even the university districts. Transit density. Transit density is strong near Crowfoot and Tuscany LRT. As far as the rate of change, Northwest isn't rapidly changing, but that's the point. It's stable, well funded, and slow growth, by design. Is Northwest the right fit for you? If you want school quality, peace of mind, and resale value, if you love proximity to parks, trails, and mountain getaways, which is a huge thing for a lot of people looking to move to Calgary, that's one of the key selling factors. It was for me. You're okay with slightly longer commutes and you prefer a refined, settled urban lifestyle, Northwest might just be your place. Now moving on to west. So we're going around counterclockwise. So in West Calgary, what is it about? It's prestige, tranquility, and gateway to the mountains. Who thrives here? Established professionals and more mature families. So people who want a quiet, retreat-like neighborhood, outdoor enthusiasts, buyers who lean towards quality over quantity. So if that additional 100 square feet, 200 square feet is not really what you're going after, but more a premium lot, premium build, better feel neighborhood, better kept neighborhood, that's maybe what you want then. What's the energy? If you're someone who wants space to breathe, scenic drives, a home that feels like a retreat after work, West Calgary really builds around that lifestyle. The feel of West Calgary, what it feels like. West Calgary has a peaceful, well established energy. Less density, more space, larger homes. Streets are quieter, traffic is calmer, and many neighborhoods are tucked into rolling hills or wooded areas. There's a clear feeling of elevation and privacy both physically and socially. It's one of the most coveted areas in the city. This is where people move when they're done with downtown, when they are done with the noise and just need some quiet luxury. What do locals say? You pay more out here, but you feel it in the lifestyle. We have space, trails, and actual stars at night, much lesser light pollution. We moved here from inner city once we had kids. It's peaceful, but we still get to downtown in 20 minutes. It's a hidden gem. No one from east side ever visits, but that's kind of the point. And I don't know what he means by hidden gem. It's not really a hidden gem. It's just very expensive for a lot of people to buy. And I'm not sure why he doesn't want people from the east side visiting him. It's like an east versus west thing going on here, but good opinion. Good to know, right? Communities in the West Calgary. So Aspen Woods and Springbank Hill, West Springs and Cougar Ridge, Wildwood, Glendale, and Rosecrans. Signal Hill and Coach Hill. These are all communities you need to keep an eye out for different reasons. Definitely read into the subtext and you'll know what I'm talking about. And also when you reach out, I can walk you through what each neighborhood has to offer depending on the lifestyle you're looking for. As far as home prices and time cost of living goes, the detached homes sit at 992,000, very expensive. You see what, and this is just benchmark pricing. If anything exceeds what the benchmark is accounting for, so more bedrooms, more square footage, more bigger lot size, you're easily crossing that million mark. And I've seen homes for 1.3, 1.4, 1.5 million. This is, trust me, a very low mark. Duplex, 822,000. Townhomes at 469. Apartments at 356,000. Errand time cost, efficient but vehicle dependent. You still need your car out there. As far as commute goes, you can go downtown via the Bow Trail, Sarcee Trail, 20 to 30 minutes, and you still got the West LRT line, so services areas like Westgate, 45th Street, 69th Street. But further west, you still need to drive, and the weekend bonus is direct access to Highway 1, 60 to 70 minutes, and you are in Banff. And that is an amazing perk, especially if that really matters to you and you're about that lifestyle. It doesn't compare to getting stuck in traffic while trying to exit the city. Microclimate and natural feel. What is it like in West Calgary? Sun exposure. West Calgary benefits from more sun exposure and less wind than Northeast or Northwest, particularly in south-facing communities on the slope. Snow patterns. Snowfall is moderate, but due to elevation and sun angle, it melts quickly in most areas. Again, good to know. Natural beauty is everywhere. Tree-lined streets, rich top trails, Glenmore Reservoir. You're going to absolutely love this, and it's going to become a part of your daily life. Hail risk. West Calgary sees fewer severe hail events than North and Northeast, making it one of the more insurance stable regions in Calgary. What about future development? It's an established development. West Calgary is largely developed. You're buying into an established community. Infra projects are common to the closer to downtown. So Wildwood, Spruce Cliff, all of that. But most of the west side neighborhoods are low density residential zones. Your ring road completion is phenomenal. That is a huge plus of west, and we saw prices go up when this was done, especially for those in deep west or deep southwest. It just allows very quick access now to your Trans Canada and able to exit the city. Amenity evolution. Amenities continue to improve, especially in West Springs and Aspen. It looks like I'm forgetting to talk. There's just so much information, so much to say. And that's why it's important for you to get this presentation so you can actually sit and ponder and read through it. And I'm obviously tired already, but we're going to keep going. Is West Calgary right for you? You want peace, you want privacy, you want prestige. You work downtown, but you want to feel far away from it for hours after hours. You value schools, space, and nature over nightlife. You are okay paying more for quality and calm and elevation. Then that's where West Calgary would be for you. Now moving to South Calgary. South Calgary personally is one of my favorites, and you'll see why. It is a family-friendly, established, exceptional living. Young families or move-up buyers want to stay in their homes for 10 plus years. Trust me, South Calgary is amazing. Healthcare professionals and retirees, buyers who value function, familiarity, and flow, people who want a traditional Calgary feel. What's the energy like in South Calgary? If you want that all in one neighborhood feel, where your gym, daycare, groceries, green spaces all are within minutes, South Calgary will really check all the boxes for you. What does it feel like living in South Calgary? South Calgary feels organized, well connected, and family first. Streets are active but calm. Lots of kids walking to school, people jogging on pathways, seniors out walking the dog. There's a mix of 1970s, 1990s homes in mature neighborhoods, newer developments layered in near Shaughnessy and Walden. So that's like extreme south. This is one of the most livable and predictable regions in the city. What does locals have to say? We've been there for 18 years and we wouldn't leave. It just works. It's not trendy, but it's smart. You get schools, LRT, shopping, and Fish Creek. I freaking love Fish Creek. I'm in southeast, but Fish Creek's like in the middle, and there's a bridge that connects us in the middle, and I'm in Fish Creek very, very often. If you don't need a brand new house, you'll get way more yard, trees, and space here. What are the key communities you need to keep in mind? Lake Buena Vista is easily one of the most popular lakes there in Southwest. You have Woodbine and Canyon Meadows. Canyon Meadows. So a lot of people do prefer Canyon Meadows for certain reasons and Lake Buena Vista for certain reasons. So there's different perks. Shaughnessy and Millrise is the other two communities that you really need to look into if you want LRT access. Home prices and time cost. So detached homes, benchmark price is at $742,000. Duplexes, you're looking at $546,000. Townhomes is at $404,000, and apartments at $310,000. Your airtime cost very low. Shopping hubs like South Central Mall, Shaughnessy Village, Avindia, they're just everywhere. You have such easy access to all of this. As far as commute goes, C train runs from Fish Creek, Lom, and all the way up to Canyon Meadows and then up. So 30 minutes to downtown. Driving via McLeod or Deerfoot is fast when timed outside rush hour. Within rush hour, they did expand those lanes. They added additional 2 lanes, especially around the Woodbine area. But even then, it can still get a lot of traffic. So outside rush hour, you're really good. Hopefully, you use the LRT access, and then that's pretty much guaranteed. Healthcare, South Health Campus, which is more actually in Southeast, but there's still a lot of benefit to living in South for that lifestyle, but then have access to South Health Campus, especially if you're a healthcare professional. And then overall, just having proximity to clinics, dental offices, and recreational centers. So, as far as weather systems go, climate advantages. So, South Calgary tends to be warmer and sunnier than North and Northeast Calgary. This is where it's dramatically different now. With flatter terrain, less wind exposure, it's a lot warmer. I even feel spring hits sooner. Fall stretches out longer before winter really hits us, and we see snowstorms because the early snowstorms and the late snowstorms of the winter season generally result just in rain in the south, whereas north it's automatically already snow. Snowfall is lighter and melts faster, makes spring exactly what I said. Park access, the area offers some of the best park access in Calgary. Hail risk. South Calgary is far less prone. You have seen hail the last time we got it, and where I told you the cars were completely damaged and everything, but that was northeast. Uh, when that happened in south, the pellets were probably one third the size. So you do get a little bit of hail, but significantly lesser compared to north. So this keeps your insurance premiums in check. Future development in South Calgary, you have built out communities. There's moderate growth, especially around the legacy building. They continue to grow, but at a moderate pace with balanced density. You have infrastructure investment, and you have transit oriented development right here. In South Calgary, is South Calgary for you? If you want balanced stability and a family first layout, if you value access to schools, parks, transit, and shopping, if you're looking for moderate prices, so you're not looking to like stretch to the end of the budget and really end up overpaying for just few additional perks, then South Calgary is a great package. Like, it really has it all for you. If you want sun, space, and simplicity in your everyday flow. Now, moving on to Southeast, where I live, and I'll be biased because I freaking love Southeast, and I will never move out of Southeast, but I have my own reasons. So, Southeast has newer builds, active living, and lifestyle communities. Who thrives here? Young families and relocation buyers, professionals working at South Hill campus. South Hill campus, absolutely phenomenal. I've been there now multiple times for different reasons, and it is easily the best medical facility available in Calgary. People who prioritize lifestyle amenities, buyers who don't mind a longer downtown commute, but then have everything within the community you live in. What's the energy feel like? If you want a home that feels fresh with all the modern infrastructure already built in, then this region is designed around that convenience. The feel of Southeast Calgary. Southeast Calgary feels new, polished, intentionally designed because it's all newer communities. The streets are wide, the homes are modern, and everything from fire stations to fitness centers have just built feeling. Have a just built feeling. How you say it, it sounds different. Community events, holiday light displays, and school openings are common. It's a region that's still growing but highly livable. Well, I really can't pronounce now. There's something really energizing about living in a place where everything feels shiny and new, but it's far from empty. So, what do locals have to say? We moved here from Ontario and couldn't believe what you can get for the price. Lake access, new schools, trails everywhere. It's a bit of a drive to downtown, but most of our life is right here and we don't feel the need to go far. Seaton has everything. Seaton's very, very popular when you're looking at Southeast, and we basically live in our own mini city. And they do, because you know why? Seaton was intentionally built to be a secondary downtown core. So they actually are meant to have a bunch of sky rises there, and all the commercial complexes and everything are supposed to be very self-sustaining, and you're not meant to get out of Seaton if you live in Seaton. So spot on. That's the vibe, and that they clearly delivered on that promise. Key communities in Southeast Calgary: Mahogany and Auburn Bay, Cranston and Riverstone, Seaton, Legacy and Walden. Now, all of these for different reasons, whether it's affordability or whether you want to be right next to South Hill campus or you want an iconic lake community. There's different reasons. Definitely read through this and you will find your fit. How about home prices and what's the time cost for living in Southeast Calgary? So detached homes now are at 733,000 plus, duplex at 530,000, townhomes at 460,000, and apartments are at around 360,000 for a benchmark. Errand time cost, extremely efficient. I couldn't agree with this more. Seaton has Calgary's largest YMCA. So it's the largest YMCA in the world and it's in Calgary. That's what it means. Hospitals, groceries, restaurants, medical services. As far as commute goes, downtown driving 30 to 45 minutes, absolutely true. No C train yet, but the green line is now proposed. They've broken ground and it's underway. Now with any government project, of course, it's going to take time. So there's a long timeline, and if you're looking to invest into the upside of this, it is going to be a while before you see that return. but we do have an express BRT bus to downtown, so that provides amazing access to downtown, and it goes straight through Deerfoot, and you're in downtown within usually 25 to 30 minutes. Stony Trail and Deerfoot provide quick car access across the city. Microclimate and natural feel in southeast Calgary. So you have your climate advantages. So southeast Calgary is warmer and sunnier than northwest and north. I totally love southeast for this, and this is one of the key reasons I will never leave southeast, because way less snow to shovel. First of all, even when it does snow, the centimeters are lower than what you see in northwest or northeast, and I'm yet to see a hail storm here actually. Snow patterns. Snow is lighter, wider sidewalks, strong sun exposure means earlier melt and drive pavement faster. Natural integration. So nature is actually woven into, so with Bow River trails in Cranston, stormwater ponds, green corridors. It's absolutely amazing nature-wise. And as far as the hail risk goes, Southeast gets moderate hail exposure, especially in newer communities with open fields. I personally, living in Mackenzie Town, I think I might have seen hail maybe only once or twice so far, and even that, like barely tiny pellets that couldn't cause a scratch in anything. And almost all new builds now anyway feature impact resistant roofing and siding, so that's always something good, and we look out for when we are looking for homes, especially new homes. So important things to know. Active expansion. So future development, we have active expansion in Southeast Calgary. The land all the way up to the Bow River and even beyond has actually been bought up now by different builders, and there's a lot of projects scheduled for around that river area, even on a cliff overlooking the river, and beautiful. It's going to be very scenic. There's a lot of lookout points actually over there. Seating growth, future transit with the Green Line access, and community evolution. It's one of the fastest evolving lifestyle regions in Calgary right now. In Southeast Calgary, right for you. You want a newer home with minimal renovations or surprises. You value lake life, most number of lakes than anywhere else in Calgary. Health access, modern amenities, and you're okay with trading a bit more commute for that everyday convenience instead. You want to live in a self-contained, walkable area. Now we are going to move on to East. We have two more communities, two more segments essentially, East and Northeast. And I know this is a really long video, but I hope that you find this valuable, even though it's long, but it is really going to go in depth and help you on this journey. And it puts all the information in one area rather than you hitting 500 different websites. And of course, there's way more information in each slide now that I'm going into. But of course, you can download these and research these on your own. But of course, also book a call. I love to help buyers. First-time home buyers have a special place in my heart, really, and especially people who move from out of province. Just introducing you to the city, getting you to understand the lifestyle and like what really Calgary is all about. I absolutely love that journey, and I love to see people fall in love with Calgary or fall in love with home ownership. There's something special about that, and I would love to help you if you are on that part of your journey. So, getting into East Calgary. What is East Calgary about? It's underrated access with entry-level opportunities. There's a lot of stigma against East Calgary, and I try to do justice to both sides, show you where the value proposition is. Of course, it's not a good fit for everyone. Same as Northeast Calgary, the next one that we will get into. But hopefully this sheds light on what's there, what's good, whether you should consider it or not. And even when you reach out, we will have those discussions. So who thrives here in East Calgary? First-time buyers who value investors. A lot of flipping opportunities in East Calgary, and that was all the thing for the last 2 or 3 years. A lot of people coming in, flipping properties, and using the market appreciation then to move elsewhere in Calgary. Buyers who prioritize access to downtown, Deerfoot, or major job corridors. Tradespeople and commercial workers who just need proximity to logistics or industrial zones. A lot of industrial zones in East. So if you're a tradesperson, East might actually be good for you. I know a lot of home inspectors, in fact, that live in East for that exact reason. People who don't need flash, they just want space, simplicity, and equity growth potential. What's the energy? What's the vibe? If you care more about price per square foot, central access, and the trendiest postcode, then East Calgary could actually make a lot of sense for you. What about the feel of East Calgary? What does it feel like? East Calgary feels raw but real, a mix of bungalows, post-war homes, industrial zones, and a growing wave of infill redevelopment, especially after we had the RCG zoning. A lot of people have come in and started doing townhomes, multiplexes, things like that. It's not suburban or master planned. Everything's very different. One house to the next, completely different, very different designs, but it is central, direct, and surprisingly connected. Some streets feel quiet and family oriented, others feel more commercial or utility focused. There's no frills here. But if you're looking to look past all of that, then East Calgary can give you location, value, and potential. So it's a very different value proposition than all the communities we've looked at so far. What do locals say? I was able to buy my first detached under 500,000 and be 15 minutes from downtown. Some parts need work, but our neighbors are great and we've seen new builds pop up every year. So the neighborhoods are rapidly changing. I'd rather have a garage and a yard than a brand new townhome an hour away. And especially with how expensive Calgary is getting now, I can see more people going for this exact value proposition. Key communities in the east: Forest Lawn and Dover, Albert Park and Radisson Heights, and Southview, all for different reasons. Definitely read into it. So as far as home prices and time costs go, detached is now at 521,000. You can see how it's significantly cheaper than almost most communities, or all communities, I think, across Calgary. Duplex at 408,000, townhomes at 304, and apartments at 252,000. Errand time cost is totally functional. Big box stores nearby. You even got Costco on the east, which is basically the international avenues, shopping and food options. And then you got the commute, which is 10 to 20 minutes to downtown via Memorial Drive. You have Blue Line, C train access in Radisson Heights and Franklin area. And then you have direct access to Deerfoot, Stony Trail, and Pagan Trail. All three very prominent to access and get around the different city. Microclimate and natural feel. So now, since we're coming around back full circle, you will see the rhyme. You'll see things being similar now to like what we spoke about, for example, in the north. Things will start going back into that direction. East Calgary is lower elevation, flatter, similar to northeast, so moderate winds exposure and more prairie sky. Snowfall is manageable, and sun exposure means early spring melt in most areas. Green space is growing. Max Bell area, Value View Park, Pierce Estate offers surprisingly scenic escapes. Hail risk. This area does experience high hail exposure, especially during summer storms, similar to the northeast. I think that's supposed to say winter storms, but as far as future development goes in East Calgary, Main Street strategy. So East Calgary is a major focus for city's main streets and redevelopment strategy. The main roads that go, that's where a lot of changes are happening. The zoning advantages. So while it says RCT2 is a main high density zoning, ideal for future duplexes and infills, but with the RCT zoning just applies to everything anyway. Infill activity, builders are active, especially in Radisson Heights and Forest Lawns. That's where a lot of flipping, and so it's more short-term investors actually that are targeting these areas. As far as infrastructure investment goes, transit upgrades, commercial revitalization, and small business incentives are ongoing. I'm tired at this point, but I'm going to get through this for you guys. Is East Calgary right for you? Only if you want maximum affordability close to downtown, you value land, space, and renovation potential, you're open to buy in an area with room to improve, and you want to live in a region poised for transformation. What about Northeast Calgary? Northeast Calgary is quite popular, I would say. However, it's not for everyone, and they do receive a lot of slack, and I'm going to try and do justice to both sides of the coin because I think there's enough information about why people don't like Northeast Calgary, but all of that information can also be outdated because the community has really evolved, especially with a lot of the newer developments. So culture, affordability, and everyday access. Who really thrives here? Practical buyers who want value without overextending, community-oriented families, people who prefer high-energy, active neighborhoods over quiet and sleepy suburbs, airport professionals, tradespeople, logistic workers. That it's quick access to the airport right here. So this region is very, very important for people in those professions. What is the energy? If you are someone who wants to live where the life happens around you, with places to eat, people outside, and things always moving, then this place definitely fits that vibe. So, what is the feel of Northeast Calgary, and what does it feel like to actually live in this community? Northeast Calgary feels vibrant, fast moving, and grounded with strong community values. Northeast Calgary, especially because of the background of people that live there. It's mostly Asian communities. You have Ukrainian people, so they really value families, multi-generation families, and that's what you're really going to see affect the lifestyle in Northeast Calgary. You have family parks are always busy on weekends, mosques, temples woven into daily life. There's a sense of ownership over the neighborhood spaces because everyone's out of the home in family gatherings and interacting with other families and doing a lot of things. It's a very different vibe for sure than other parts of Calgary. There's less polish, more practicality, and buyers who prioritize utility over prestige often find great satisfaction in Northeast. What do locals actually have to say? I didn't realize how much value you can get here. Same house would be 100,000 more in Northwest. Everything I need is close. Food, doctors, groceries, mosques. I barely leave the area. People talk down the Northeast. This is what I've seen a lot, and that's why I've tried to take a little different perspective. But I've never felt unsafe. You just got to know the streets. So there is definitely areas where there's significantly higher crime rates. And so if you are open to Southeast or Northeast and Northeast does work for you, we will still make sure we don't put you in a community where the crime rates, especially petty thefts and all those things, we don't want you living in those areas, and we're going to mark those out for sure. So there's specific areas that are higher crime rates, but other than that, it's generally okay. Key communities in Northeast: Saddle Ridge, Taradale, Martindale. Amazing for sea train access. Coral Springs, the only lake community in Northeast. If you want that and want to be in Northeast, Coral Springs is where it's at. Cityscape, Redstone, and Skyview Ranch. Newer communities. These are like extreme Northeast, completely different vibe than say Saddle Ridge, Taradale. So again, depending on what you're looking for, you would want to pick the community. And again, if you're going into newer communities, you want to look at the development maps, see what's going to happen 5 years down the line, how the communities are going to change around you. All those links are going to be in this presentation. Home prices and time cost of living. So 600,000 plus for a detached home, 446,000 plus for a duplex, 371,000 plus for a townhome, and then finally 301,000 plus for apartments. So obviously more affordable, not as affordable as East, I would say, but still one of the most affordable parts across all of Calgary from everything we've seen so far. Errand time cost. It's very efficient. Groceries, pharmacies, clinics, temples, all usually within 5 to 10 minutes. You have your C train blue line runs directly through key neighborhoods, and airport finally 10 to 12 minutes from most Northeast communities. It's a huge plus, especially people who need to fly out of the city frequently or shift workers. And now microclimate and natural feel in Northeast Calgary. How is Northeast Calgary compared to everything else? You'll see why this is, for me, also a major downside of Northeast Calgary. So Northeast Calgary sits on an open prairie style land, low elevation, few natural barriers, meaning it's often windier than other parts of Calgary. Snow patterns. Snowfall is moderate, but wind exposure leads to drifting across open roads, walkways, and sidewalks can ice up very quickly. Hail risk. The Northeast is statistically the most affected region in Calgary during hailstorms. Notable storm events in 2020 and earlier. So homes here that have older siding and roofs might actually be really vulnerable to damage and really increases those premiums. Insurance premiums. Natural features, stormwater ponds, planned parks, common, but tree cover in newer developments is very minimal. And considering the high amount of wind that you have in Northeast, it makes it even more noticeable. What about future development in Northeast Calgary? Zoning and future development. Newer areas like Northeast are still rapidly developing for high density. You have transit expansion, commercial development. Some parcels near the airport might actually see commercial and logistics zoning, so it's wise to check for development maps. Again, included in this presentation, all the hot links that you need to understand Calgary is going to be in here. Rate of change and community evolution. So Redstone, Skyview, Cityscape have grown rapidly since 2016. Some older Northeast areas are seeing renovation waves now. Northeast as a whole is transitioning from overlooked neighborhood to a more appreciated neighborhood, especially by first generation Canadian buyers. Is Northeast Calgary right for you? If you want affordability without sacrificing space, if you value community, convenience, and cultural diversity, especially coming from an Asian community, Southeast Asian community, or even South Asian community and Ukrainian, then you're going to find a lot of those backgrounds in Northeast Calgary. If you prefer fast access to airport, highways, and daily essentials, if you're okay with a little noise or density in exchange for walkability and savings, you're future focused and want to get into the market now in a place that is growing, then Northeast might be for you. Now that we have covered all the communities, let's summarize because there's a lot of information, right? So if you're trying to remember what each community or each area was about, roughly, this table is going to do a good job just summarizing everything that we've spoken about, have all the different regions, the vibe for each place, what it is really best for or whom it is best for, what the types of homes you will find in those areas, in terms of commute, what you can expect, and roughly what the price ranges. Now, these price ranges are your overall price range. So definitely pause on the screen, just and take a quick glance, and then let this help you decide. Or you don't even have to pick one. You can pick two, or three, or four, but that's way better than just starting a search across all of Calgary and then wondering all of a sudden when you move in why things don't feel right. When you spend so much time picking the home, but you didn't take the time to really understand how diverse a neighborhood can be from something else. All right, so from there, what we're going to get into is a quick fire matchup, and I just love doing this, is find your perfect Calgary region. So, if best for lake life, you want to go southeast, Mahogany and Auburn Bay. Best for walkability, city center. Most affordable detached homes, east and northeast. Most family friendly planning, south and north. Best for views and nature, northwest and west. Most underrated long term play, east. Quickest access to the mountains, west. And best for turnkey modern builds, southeast and north. And lowest maintenance lifestyle, city center and condos. Now, which of these made you nod or feel a little different? Then that is your starting point. Then that is where you're going to prioritize that area and then have a couple more behind depending on your secondary and tertiary priorities. So hopefully you found this extremely helpful. Now this is something I wish I had as a home buyer. Unfortunately, I've actually never seen this provided by anybody, and I've never found YouTube videos, nothing. And it's something that I've always wanted to deliver in terms of value because which buyer wouldn't want to know this? Because it gives you such a good starting point to then do more research. And of course, this is a living document, so I'm going to keep improving it as I go. As I improve, I learn about the city or what information matters to buyers. Let me know in the comments, what would you like to see in here? Did this cover everything? Did it make you think? Did it challenge what you were focusing on? I would love to know your opinion because then I can improve this document even more. And then finally now, this slide, extremely important. So you have the Calgary community. For those of you not familiar about Calgary at all, this will make sense of what I've been talking about. For those, you might be wondering what communities actually come in north versus, say, northwest or northeast. This is going to tell you that. So all of this blue, for example, is north. This is south, northeast, northwest, west. So you can click this link or click this map, and it's going to take you to a very detailed, zoomable PDF version of this that you can now look into each individual community and research. Extremely useful. And important links you need to have on hand as a buyer. Community demographics. You want to know what the salary ranges are. What's the age of the people living there? How many people have kids? How many people are renters versus owners? All of this changes the vibe of a community dramatically. Detailed community information, very, very important again. What kind of schools are there? How good are the schools? Do you have Catholic schools? Different things for different people. You can search schools here with this link based on a specific address, because based on where your address are, is you might just go into another school on the other side, whereas you wanted to be in this school. So that's going to stop you from making that mistake. Future development map, extremely important to not just know what the community is like today, but where is it going ahead? What plans does Calgary have for it? What are the permits that have been applied to change, to rezone, to change up what the land use is around that area. Community livable scores. This area vibes extremely useful. You click this, you will know exactly what I'm talking about, and you're gonna wish you had all of these links sooner. So hopefully you find this extremely valuable, and that is it for everything. This is a long video, and I hope it's one that you keep coming back to. You don't have to listen to it, of course, from start to finish. Different parts offer different value for different people, but that is the intention. It's supposed to be a one-stop video to provide you value to understand what Calgary is about. Now, finally, if you feel ready to find your Calgary home, if you are getting closer to finding that perfect spot for your lifestyle, but the search doesn't end here. This is just the beginning. Now, the real search starts about finding that lifestyle, timing, and strategy that fits you best, you and your family, and your future goals. It's important to not just talk about where you are, but where you're going in the next few years. Are you planning to have more kids? Are your kids going to get older and go into high schools? Where are you going in your life? So book a free relocation strategy or a first time home buyer session, essentially, as I call it. And I will run through all your short term, mid term, and long term goals. I would love to help you. Like I said, first time home buyers have a special place in my heart. I will zero in and help you make the smartest choice you've made in your life. You can book this button right here. It's going to take you straight to the booking page. Super easy. Or you could send me an email or just give me a call, a text message, whatever you like, whatever fits you. I would love to hear from you. I would love to help you further. And if you want this entire presentation, you want this entire slide deck, just check the description down below. I'm going to put a link right there. It will take you to another website where it will send you directly to your email as a PDF format, because this is not necessarily yet in a PDF format. I'm going to get this out in a PDF format so that it can be delivered to you by your email, and that way you have it on hand across any device you choose, always ready and handy to cross-check this information. And thank you so much for staying tuned to the end of the video. If you're here still, I really appreciate you guys. You are what drives me and helps me make these videos, keep this channel alive, and deliver this information. All the kind words I receive, the gratitude, it warms my heart. And every time, possession days are the best time. When I help a buyer close a home and move into that home where memories are going to be made, it just warms my heart. It reminds me why I'm doing what I'm doing. And that's why then I go above and beyond and try to deliver this kind of information and value to you guys. So thanks for staying till the end. Really appreciate you guys. And if you really like this video, show me your support by liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell. So whenever I put out videos like this, whether it's seller, buyer videos, whatever else, you want to stay on top of the market, understand where Calgary's at, what the lifestyle is, what things are there to do, what's there to do in the mountains. I'm going to start putting out different variety of videos this year and really expand that out so that I can help you live a better life in Calgary. Not just when you're buying or selling, but just when you live here, you're more aware of what Calgary has to offer. Again, appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, take care.